WWE appears to be lightly teasing some old foes that John Cena may be seeing again. So we'll see what that's about. We'll also check out what's scary for Alexa Bliss, the Wyatt Sicks, and more. Starting things off with the latest few teasers that WWE has been sprinkling in for when it comes to potential John Cena matches we'll be seeing in 2025. When John Cena first announced his farewell tour, everyone automatically assumed he would be a babyface for the entire run, and how we'd see a series of potential respectful matches against some of his old rivals, and maybe even some newer faces. But now that John Cena has turned heel, it definitely adds a level of spice and spark to all those potential matches with all these opponents. The first teaser came on the Raw after Elimination Chamber with CM Punk. Punk came directly for not only John Cena's head, but also for The Rock. The way Punk spoke in that promo most definitely made it seem like we'll be seeing a John Cena versus CM Punk match for sure sometime in 2025. Not only are they old rivals, but now it's intriguing because there's a conflict there now, there's tension. Maybe you can even label it as potential hatred. Punk hates what John Cena did, and now Punk has made a strong motive to face him and make him pay. And don't forget that John Cena did CM Punk pretty dirty in the closing moments of the Elimination Chamber match as well. Punk and Cena were facing off fairly, but Seth Rollins ruined their encounter when he curb stomped CM Punk on the outside of the chamber. And what did John Cena do after that happened? Cena immediately grabbed CM Punk and put him in the submission hold. He did not waste a single second at all to try to think about the situation or feel bad that Punk was just unfairly taken out by someone who had already been eliminated. Cena just acted like an opportunist and took full advantage of the moment in a fashion that you could say was already starting to show his true colors of being a heel. The old John Cena probably goes after Seth Rollins for that wrongful attack on CM Punk, or the old Cena at least waits for Punk to make it back to his feet to continue the encounter fairly. But this 2025 desperate and heel version of John Cena, he took full advantage of the attack on CM Punk. So you could take that situation and of course pair it up with what Cena did to Cody, and that creates a nice little backstory for John Cena and CM Punk to have their new match against each other. The teases didn't stop there. On the March 7th edition of SmackDown, Randy Orton even took aim at John Cena. Randy said that after all this time of being on top, John Cena is now a bottom for The Rock. It's pretty funny and almost makes Randy's character seem a little bit hypocrite, because Randy has definitely sold his soul to WWE authority figures throughout his career. So Randy doesn't exactly have a clean slate to be talking like that and throwing shots, but it definitely seems to be laying down some foundation for John Cena and Randy Orton to meet for one last match in 2025. So judging off this magnitude of those subtle teasers, it looks like there's a very good shot that John Cena has one last match with both CM Punk and Randy Orton sometime this year. There's also a lot of talk going around for the close-up of John Cena's farewell tour. Will he be a heel all the way through the end of it? Will this heel turn only last for a small portion of the farewell tour? That's the sort of questions that are going around right now, but for the time being, we'll most definitely see a start of this heel run, and it's creating a lot of excitement. Fans are assuming that John Cena's character will get a full makeover for this heel run, maybe a new attire, a new theme song, new attitude. Fans are expecting to see just a fully different type of presentation for John Cena, so hopefully we do get to see all those details real soon. Now let's dive back into a world of Alexa Bliss and the Wyatt Sicks, because you want to talk about just a complete roller coaster of events. That's exactly what's happening in the Wyatt universe in recent weeks. It all started when the Wyatt Sicks vanished from WWE television. Fans thought it was all over for the group, that they were probably just lost in the creative shuffle, and that WWE ran out of things for them to do. Then the Alexa Bliss contract news broke out, that WWE had a full-time story in mind for Alexa and the Wyatts, but that it was scrapped. But then, Alexa Bliss comes back to WWE, starts teasing again that she'll be affiliated with the Wyatts again after all. So things were looking good there for Alexa and the Wyatts. Then the news came out that Bo Dallas was physically cleared to compete again, so even more positive news. But then, the March 7th edition of SmackDown came along and crushed all the fans' hope that was previously building up there. Ever since Alexa Bliss returned at the Royal Rumble, Alexa's been featured on SmackDown every week in some sort of way, through matches, attacks, backstage segments, vignettes. There was something there consistently for several weeks in a row for Alexa Bliss to do. But that streak was broken when Alexa and the Wyatt teasers were nowhere to be found on the March 7th edition of SmackDown. And it's not like it was because of a time issue, because it's a 3-hour show. Surely there was enough time to add something in there if they so pleased. So it looks like the Alexa and Wyatt story was absent from SmackDown for much different reasons. WWE fans speculated that that momentum and story with Alexa Bliss has been temporarily dropped because WWE is about to go on tour overseas for several weeks. So maybe Alexa and the Wyatts are not going to be there during the overseas tour. So maybe they decided not to tease anything new this week because they can't really progress it until they come back from being overseas. That's not an official report, but it's a solid fan guess that does make a lot of sense. By the time WWE gets back from the overseas tour, it'll pretty much be the month of April within a few weeks to go on until WrestleMania at that point in time. Most likely meaning that if Alexa and the Wyatts don't tease something new during these few upcoming overseas SmackDown episodes, they may be on the back burner until after WrestleMania season concludes. So fingers are crossed that we do see something new teased for Alexa and the Wyatts on the March 14th edition of SmackDown, because if not, it looks like Alexa and the Wyatts are heading right back into being into that limbo state. Like we mentioned here on WrestlingWorldCC during the last Alexa Bliss breakdown, it does look like the story WWE has in place for Alexa right now is a reunion with Nikki Cross to take on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the women's tag team titles. That'll be the big reunion that kicks off Alexa's involvement with the Wyatt Sicks. But after missing the March 7th edition of SmackDown, fans just have no idea when this Alexa and Wyatt Sicks story will pick up again. It looks like late April is the best shot of seeing Alexa and the Wyatt story pick back up in full gear. But that is far away, and you assume that the fan interest will only die down more as time passes with nothing new. So we hope that's wrong, and we hope that they do keep this story going a lot sooner than late April. But the fact that this story was just completely left off of March 7th show is just not a good sign at all. So hopefully new Alexa Bliss and Wyatt Sicks related content and progression does pop up sometime sooner than expected. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.